Hey there, it's Ian Smith, and today's transition snippet is all about valuations. And it's funny, as an M&A professional or investment banker, I get asked by business owners if we want to do a valuation just before we go to sell the business or help to sell the business. And I would often say, or most often I would say, well, why? Why do you need a valuation now? If you've decided that now is the time to go to market, what you're going to find through that process is what a buyer is willing to pay. And isn't that what really matters? It's not valuation in a technical sense. It's a value in the market. If you have a competitive process, it's an open process, you share information, buyers make decisions, you get into a competitive, hopefully a competitive process, and you get the best result. That to me is what a valuation is all about. It's actually not even about value, it's about price. Because we can put a value on something. Think about your home, for example. The land is worth something, whatever the land is worth. The building itself is a combination of wood and cement and windows and everything else. If you added all of those up, I would guess that you don't get anywhere near the value of your home. But the price of your home is what somebody is willing to pay. And the same is true of a business. And like housing prices, the price of businesses goes up and down with the market, with the economy, with the performance of the business itself. So when you're thinking about valuations, I think you need to think of them in very limited areas where they are required. A couple things that would come to mind. Litigation. If there's a shareholder dispute and you need to determine value for a court process. Divorces, sadly, that's something I'm familiar with. Another time for valuations. Tax changes. If you have family trusts or you're rolling shares into a new company through some sort of tax structure, you may need a valuation. You may not actually need it, but you may want to have it prepared in case there's any questions by your local tax authorities or your federal tax authorities. So those are the times that you really need a valuation. Other than that, I'm not so sure. So what I'd like you to think about is what is your outcome? What are you thinking you want to get from a valuation? If it's just a big number, then I'd say forget it. It's not worth the amount of money that you're going to spend on getting a proper valuation done. If you're trying to find what really drives value in your business, then I'd think about a quality of earnings report. And it's more than semantics. A quality of earnings report will look at the business and what is driving revenue, what is driving profits, how the revenues are come about, whether it's through two customers that account for 80 or 90% of your business, or if you have 500 customers that account for 50% of the business. They'll look at depth of management skills. They'll look at operating systems and financial controls, budgets, things like that really help to drive value. And you'll hear in one of the courses that I'm putting together how much value that can actually drive. So if you want to know the value of your business, I think the more important thing is to know what drives value. And if you are a business owner that's willing to change your mindset a little bit, make some changes after reviewing a quality of earnings report, I think you'll find that that's a great way to determine how to grow value in the future or increase the price that somebody is willing to pay for your business in the future. The valuation by itself, I don't think that it's worth it. The other thing I'd caution you about, and I hear this all the time, and it's really unfortunate for investment bankers like myself to hear of I don't know what you want to call it, but professionals that will knock on business owners' doors and offer to do a valuation because that's a precursor to finding buyers, or they have a buyer, but if all they need is for you to spend X number of thousands of dollars to get a valuation done, then they'll have all the information that they need to give to their client. That's just not the way it works in my world. We work with sellers that are interested to sell the business. They want to run a competitive process and in a certain type of environment and get the best possible outcome. We don't knock on people's doors, and I wouldn't think that other professionals, investment banking professionals, would be knocking on other people's doors offering to do a valuation, which has no benefit whatsoever in a transaction if you are actually serious about bringing a buyer to the table. Because most of that work is going to be done once you get into a process regardless. So I would say don't worry about valuations unless you have one of those needs: litigation, divorce, tax issues, whatever. Don't worry about valuations. Think about quality of earnings. What is going to improve the quality of earnings and thereby improve the value or the price that somebody is willing to pay for your business down the road? I'd also say that even if you aren't looking to sell, even if you are going to be passing your business on to your kids or your management team, a quality of earnings report can actually help you to drive real value going forward if you're willing to make some of the changes in your own mindset, in the way you manage the business, and it can have a real positive impact in the value of your business. So that's it for today. Think about quality of earnings and look out for my course that's coming up in the next little while. I think it'll help you to really solidify your thinking in terms of what can really drive value in your business, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.